Hey guys, well welcome back for another installation of Inspirational Guns. We are in November. Okay, sorry it took a long time for this to get done, but as you guys know I got the bug that kind of set things back and screwed up my whole schedule. But anyway, here we are in November talking about a very special inspirational gun. The Tradition's Napoleon 69 caliber cannon. Yeah, it's a freaking cannon. And I'm about to explain to you in a second why it's inspirational to me. So the Napoleon here is a brass barreled 69 caliber black powder front stuffing cannon. Yeah. So how do you shoot this darn thing? Well, what you do is you start off, obviously you make sure that it's clear, and then you get some cannon fuse. You cut off a good length. It's going to give you a little bit of time. Obviously if you need to step back, it's still an active cannon. It's shooting projectile, it's shooting off powder. So you want to have a good length of this cannon fuse set. And then next, you're going to go ahead and put an appropriate charge of, I use probably around 90 grains of GoX FF. And it's more than enough, okay? When it comes down to the powder charge for this thing, it's a novelty, okay? So sometimes more boom is better, but it depends on what you're doing with it. But we'll get into that in a second. And next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a wad right here, just a regular lubricated wad, and your 69 caliber ball. This is actually a 680 ball to account for the .01 loading patch. And you put your ball in there, start it off just like any other muzzle loader with a ball starter. That's what I use anyway. This is a smooth bore, so it's pretty easy to load. And then you just take a ramrod. I use this brass ramrod to load it all in there. Make sure everything's seated. For God's sake, make sure it's seated. And it's ready to go. So light off that fuse, step on back. Make sure you get your ears covered because it's loud. So what on earth makes this silly cannon inspirational to me? It's so ridiculously fun. I'll tell you that, so ridiculously fun. It's impractical in most purposes. There are some competitive circuits out there who do miniature artillery. They exist, look them up, it's actually really cool. But for me, this is the first gun I've ever encountered, and I've come across maybe a few guns, that coming out of the box has never made me openly express joy, like to the point where I'm giggling with delight. I'm sure it was a sight to be seen. It's so different to say, one, you get to say you have a cannon, okay, that always turns heads, really it does. And two, to be able to shoot the darn thing, it's so much fun. I use this thing for 4th of July, sometimes for like birthday parties or whatever. And believe it or not, I do target shoot with it. Yeah, I actually target shoot with this darn thing. I'm still learning how to do that. The sight adjustment is basically, it's just an elevation adjustment. You have to move it back and forth, obviously, for windage. And you got to figure out your powder charge to go along with your range to go after whatever you're shooting at, and then there you go. Miniature artillery is actually, it's pretty tough to master. I'm not even close to mastering it. I'm going to do a video on this thing, weather permitting. We're getting into winter here, to see if I can do some focused miniature artillery and actually like maybe group it or something like that. I'm not sure, but that's something I'm going to have to brainstorm up. But meanwhile, it's so fun. This thing, you get this huge chunk of lead and that you're just blasting out there. I mean, the fireball and the sound is just outstanding. It's perfect for 4th of July or something like that. They're super easy to manage. It's very easy to clean. Like I said, it's a smooth bore, so yeah, it cleans out really easily. The flash hole where you put the cannon fuse, you can easily clean that out, and then just make sure you keep your maintenance on this other stuff. It's like a cheaper kind of wood on the wheels. I mean, it's Traditions, so you gotta kind of make sure that you're not getting it wet and all screwed up and stuff. These are not cheap at all. Some of the materials are kind of cheap, but like as a unit, it's not cheap. Now I got mine pre-built. Basically I just had to put the barrel on there, but you can buy kits where you put the whole thing together, but not in my case. I got this whole thing. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Just it's a cannon. I mean, look at it. I mean, bask in it. It's a cannon. So yeah, you can see on my face right now, I'm giddy just talking about the darn thing. Tell us all about what you guys have. If you guys have miniature artillery or actual artillery, yeah, I know there's lots of guys. I know you're out there that have full-size cannons and mortars and stuff like that. You know, you can get miniature mortars, the Cohorn mortars. You can get those. Those are pretty darn cool. You can shoot up like a pop cannon or something. But yeah, tell us your experience, guys. Tell us what you think about miniature artillery. I can tell you, I love mine. This thing's great. Well, anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time.